My Lords, I'd like to join in on all these comments about the Prime Minister's failings, but I just don't think there's time in this debate. And so I actually rise to support the Noble Lord Judge, Noble and Learned Lord Judge, and will support, obviously, the amendments. But before I speak to those specifically, I hope your Lordships won't mind if I speak briefly about what we are facing this week and possibly next week, because the government's actually created a deadlock in legislation. This was not the fault of your Lordship's House, this is the fault of the government. And if this legislation isn't passed in the next few days, it falls completely. Now, I have no problem with that. I'd like to see it all fall. But the fact is, that probably isn't the sort of position that your Lordship's House can take. But we can obtain very significant concessions from the government. They won't want to lose these bills. And I think it's an opportunity for us to throw out the worst bits of the legislation that we have all argued about over the past few months. Now, I do make a plea to the opposition, to the Labour front bench, to the crossbenchers, that we maintain the maximum amount of toughness in the face of what the government is trying to push through this House at the moment. I don't think we should fumble this opportunity to actually improve the bills that we've tried to improve, and almost all those amendments have been ripped out by the other place. So I'm looking forward to today, and I've sat here listening to the speeches before with a real smile on my face. It's been wonderful. Turning to amendments 45 and 46, these are a perfect example why we should not back down. We've got to insist that we will not pass this bill if clauses 15 and 16 remain in it. The Electoral Commission, as we've heard, they said it best, and I agree with them. They say that the proposals are inconsistent with the role that an independent commission plays in a healthy democratic system. This government is trying to reduce the amount of democracy that we have in Britain, and I think that's a terrible failing for a democratically elected government. Now, the Greens are very grateful to the Noble and Learned Lord Judge for leading on these essential amendments. I'm sure he's going to carry the House with him, and we will obviously vote for them again and again, as many times as it takes to force the government to either drop them or lose the bill entirely.